I watched a documentary the other day with Diane about Joan Didion, who is an author during the 60s and 70s and later. And one of the things, when she was talking about her experience, reflecting on it as a mother, and she was felt she was a failure. Her daughter had died without going into all of that. She said, I thought I was paying attention, but really it was at a glance. It was on the surface. I was seeing just the parts, the experience of my daughter as that reflected well on me and reinforced the beliefs I wanted to hold on to, and I missed a lot. I see this all the time in the community, whether it's organizational management or when I read stories about the youth of today coming out of higher education, and the adults in their lives, they're just talking past each other. It's just on the surface, and either you're reinforcing the beliefs I want to hold on to about myself and the world I live in, and stories in the press about the young people of today interacting in their educational environments, often around issues of intersectional oppression, right? Is the adults and the younger generation talking past each other. And when in either direction, when the reflection doesn't affirm my beliefs about myself and the world we live in, the response is often anger at being denied the reflection and affirmation I'm seeking, or anger from being overwhelmed by the rejection of the response, so that the older adults get frustrated with the younger people, kind of like, what part of respect your elders don't you get? Right? And being overwhelmed by the sometimes ferocity of the rejection of the younger people, going, don't you get it? This is not what we're talking about. There's no intimacy there. There's no mutual vulnerability there. And so the question for me is, first introduce this topic in a very personal way, okay? This is how you and I, and hopefully others in the seminar, will identify these concepts of intimacy and empowerment and vulnerability and mutuality on a very personal level. Then the goal is, in the next one, bring up education. And we're broadening it out. This is a seminar being sponsored or put on by an Institute of Higher Learning dedicated to intersectional consciousness, multiculturalism, community, and personal empowerment. Premise: emancipation requires a combination of being loved and the power of self-love. Where is the path to self-love? It is a path of mutual vulnerability and intimacy that is healing. WISR is dedicated to intersectional awareness and solutions as a pathway to the power of self-love. This guides WISR psychotherapy education, which teaches methods of intimacy constrained by the Hippocratic Oath: do no harm. WISR offers a doctoral program in education. This also uses intimate dialogue guided by the Hippocratic Oath: do no harm. And
should finding a path to self-love be a fundamental element of higher education?
Well, how's that going to help me get a job? We're done. Any benediction?
we are grateful for the continued creativity which sparks between us and contributes, we trust, to a world where we can all stand tall and feel no inclination whatsoever to chop each other down. And then, amen.
Hallelujah. Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Right on.